Okay, let's begin. Hello, hi, how are you? Are you good? I hope you're good. So I'm back again with a recent reads because I'm determined, okay? I'm going to catch up and it's going to be fast, okay? These videos are gonna start spewing out into the YouTube sphere of me just talking and mumbling and rambling about the books that I've read this year. So we should get started because this is exciting. This is so exciting. No, actually this is not exciting because we're going to start off with a really depressing book that I read. So The Perfect Storm, A True Story of Man Against the Sea by Sebastian Junger. I buddy read this, Monse from Monse's Manifesto. I'll link her down below. She has a booktube channel, which she never updates and films for, so she sucks. But anyway, this is a non-fiction book. If the title, if the cover, if the whatever looks familiar to you, it is because there is a film adaptation based on the events, I would say. I'm not sure if it's based on this book or just the events in general. I don't know. It has George Clooney as well as Mark Wahlberg, perhaps? I think so. Yes? I think. I just watched the movie not too long ago. How do I not remember? I think so. This follows the story of a fisherman's crew. They fish for swordfish. Sword fishing is the term? Yeah, they're sword fishermen. Anyway, the ship is called the Andrea Gale, and they get stuck in a storm and they don't make it. They don't make it. They are hit by a rogue wave. That is the reports, you know, that you can never truly know, but that is what this author, you know, gives us as the most probable cause for how they went down in the storm. It's such a sad story, my goodness, but everyone should read it. There is a lot about just sea fishing in general, what it's like to be a fisherman. Their lives are just so, I don't want to say depressing, this is all just very depressing, but their lives are so interesting and somewhat sad because they're gone for so long, they get their lump sum and then they come back to shore for a short amount of time and then they go back. So we also get the perspective of this crew's, you know, partners on what they're going through, and it's just, oh, I spilled tea. It sucks. Ow, it's hot. Fail. But anyway, overall, this was a really, really good read. I would recommend it if you have seen the film and you really enjoyed it and want to get a more in-depth perspective, perhaps. But solid read, and you learn a lot too, like I said, about just what it's like to be a fisherman, so I recommend it. Moving on to something slightly less depressing. No, actually, just as depressing, because this has to do with the Titanic, a ship that sank, as we all know. Time Shadows by Deborah D. Moore. Let me put this tea to the side, it's just bugging me. Time Shadows by Deborah D. Moore. I was sent this book by the publisher for the review. I have a review up on my channel. I'll link that down below. It's more of a rambly, just tangent of me just mumbling a bunch of thoughts. I don't know if you would consider it a review, but whatever, I'll link it down below. I would say Time Shadows is a really cute, fun, little short book, really. It's just cute and fun. That's how I would describe it right off the bat. We follow this young woman. She just basically lost everything. Her family, her job, everything. She's hit rock bottom. It's when she meets this lady, this older woman, who offers to take her in and help her get off her feet and just keep going. We soon find out that this lady that is helping this young woman is a sorceress, a witch, and she needs this young woman's help to fix her wrongdoings in her past. So she sends this girl back in time, aboard the Titanic, as well as a lot of other places, to stop her from doing some pretty bad stuff. And it's just a lot of fun. I really, really love the parts that were set on the Titanic. Of course, when I think of the Titanic, I think of and while there is a romance, it doesn't get that intense. But this is just a really fun book. I think if you like chick lit, would I describe it as chick lit? I could describe it as that. Yeah, we'll go with that. If you like chick lit, this could be for you. If not, well, maybe if you like the Titanic, though I've read other books set on the Titanic that are much better, so you know, keep that in mind. The next book is a book that I don't currently have, and I'm really just anxious about it because I want the book back already. I need it back in my life. You know, books become like your mini children, you know, they're yours. And when they're taken from you, not taken, but when they're being borrowed and they've been gone for a significant amount of time, you just you want them back. So my best friend is currently borrowing Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. It's kind of my fault. I kind of figured, oh, this book, Alyssa would like this book. Yeah, Alyssa, read it. So I let her borrow it, and so, I mean, she'll give it back to me in the next year or 2 or 3. No, I'm just kidding. She'll give it back to me eventually. At this point in time, I keep telling her, you know, you better read it. I'm gonna start charging interest, so speed it up. Anyway, rambling, but Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant is a book that I also have a review for. I will link it down below. This book is so good, so much fun. It is such an Erika book. It is such a me book, okay? Killer mermaids. Let's just start with that. There is this crew that went out to the Marianas Trench because their job was to film a mockumentary on mermaids. So they were going to film, you know, and if you're not aware of mockumentaries, it's basically a documentary where your subject is on something that isn't real, but you're trying to show that it is real. That probably wasn't the best way to describe it, but I think you get what I mean. So they're trying to make a mockumentary on mermaids. What happens is when they find these said mermaids and get footage of them, this boat is attacked, everyone on board is killed or just presumed missing, and this footage is said to be real, though most people think it's fake because they were filming a mockumentary. So speed up years later, we now have a new crew that is formed, and they go out to the Marianas Trench to figure out what really happened to this mockumentary crew, to see if, you know, the mermaids were actually real or not. Spoiler alert, they are, but that's not a spoiler, I mean, come on. I would say that the most the highlight of this book would have to be the cast of characters on this crew, because that's what really brought it to life. We have this couple. They are, I guess you would call them assassins. Then we have these twins, and they are female scientists. They're super smart, super intelligent. One of them is deaf, so it was just interesting reading from that sort of perspective. We also have the younger sister of a crew member on the original mockumentary. The younger sister is on this new crew, so she wants to find out what happened to her older sister who, you know, is dead. It's just a fascinating, edge of your seat, non-stop, interesting read. And also, not to get too much into spoilers, but the mermaids, oh my gosh, they are terrifying. Terrifying, just so terrifying. I highly recommend this book to everyone, or I mean, if you like horror, action, adventure, sea creatures, mermaids, if you're not too uncomfortable with a little bit of blood and guts, because this gets pretty graphic at some parts actually, so just keep that in mind. But it's such a fun read. I really loved it. I hope my best friend gives it back to me someday, because I want it back in my life, so that would be great. But moving on. And the next book I have today here with you to talk about is Semiosis by by Sue Burke. Another book that I have a review for. I promise I'm gonna stop saying that soon. I stopped reviewing books frequently shortly after this, so. But anyway, I have a full video review. Link it down below if you're interested. Semiosis by Sue Burke is a science fiction, epic, environmental, first contact with plant life sort of story. This book was so good. We follow humans as they're trying to colonize another planet. And on this planet that they colonize, they have contact with not alien life, but a form of alien life in plant life. The plants on this new planet make contact with the humans, and they start to have this sort of partnership, if you would. The plants need the humans to survive, and obviously the humans need the plants to survive. They're kind of using each other to grow and to live, and it's such a fascinating book. This in and of itself almost feels like a collection of short stories, because each chapter is told from a different generation of these humans. That being said, this isn't a perfect book, so it's really good, don't get me wrong, but I mean there are a couple flaws. I think the biggest one I would say is that these chapters are so short. This book in general is so short, so we don't get much time with each of these human generations, and it almost feels lacking in a way, because you want to spend more time with these characters, and then then it ends and you move on to the next, which is a little sad. I wish this would have been a much longer novel. I wish there would have been more. I kind of want to know so much more about this planet, the creatures, the way the humans and the plants interact more. I want to know more about the plant life and all of the other species of plants. There's just so many things I would have liked to explore more within this world, and I don't feel as if there was enough of that. It was more on the contact between the humans and the plant spectrum. It was how they were going to work together, which it did really well, but I still wish there was more. And we've reached the last book for today, 11/22/63 by Stephen King. This is a beast of a book. How many pages is this? 830 something pages, perhaps. There's an afterword, 804, okay, it doesn't matter, 800 and something. It was a lot to read, but worth it. Actually really worth it. This is a solid Stephen King that I would recommend to everyone. I've been slowly let down by some of the recent Stephen Kings that I've been reading recently, and this one was just a pleasant surprise, okay? But go into this knowing that this is not the horror Stephen King that most people would be expecting. This is about the Kennedy assassination. This is Stephen King's take on throwing time travel into the Kennedy assassination, and how a character could potentially stop these events from taking place. And it is so I don't know, it's just one of those books that you read and you just are so consumed. It's just one of those books that you just really enjoy the reading process, and you're just so happy you read it by the end of it, and you kind of want to cry and curl up in a ball and just be by yourself for a bit. Or maybe that's just what happened to me. I don't know. It's just a really good book. The characters are so interesting, and there is a love story in this as well, so I mean, keep that in mind. But oh my gosh, it warmed my heart, and the ending, it warmed my heart, and it's just one of those love stories that you read and you know that it's not going to work out, but you are rooting for them and you're rooting for this character. It's really good. I don't know what else to say, honestly. Stephen King did not let me down with this book, and I am very happy about that. And even the ending of this book was surprisingly satisfying, and that's a surprise because most Stephen King books don't end well. They're very anticlimactic. They're very, just, why? Why Stephen King? But this one, not bad. Good job, Stephen King. I give you a high five. So, yeah, that's 11/22/63. It's really great. If you like sci-fi, if you like time travel, murder, mystery, a little bit of romance, check it out. There's also a TV miniseries that stars, what's his name? James Franco. I haven't seen it yet. I really want to. I hope to eventually, someday. We'll see. But yeah, those are the 5 books that I will be talking about for today. Hooray! Have you read any of these? Do you have any thoughts or opinions? I feel like there's hair in my face. Anyway, yeah, that's all I really have to say for today. Leave a comment. We can chit chat, blah, blah, blah. You know what to do. I hope you guys have a great day or night wherever you are, and I will see you in another Recent Reads very soon, okay? Very soon. And we're gonna catch up. So, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go. Bye!